Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Peter here. Today's video is a full review of Rituale by Mendittorosa. This is an Italian brand. About a year ago I purchased myself a sample pack from the website, paid for them myself, tested them out, and my favourite at the time was Le Mat, and I eventually got around to reviewing it. So I did a review on that, and about, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months went by, and the owner of this particular brand, Stefania, wrote me an email just out of the blue saying that she'd just stumbled upon my review on YouTube and she was so happy that I liked it and gave it really good, honest feedback, and that she was really impressed that I hadn't emailed her, I hadn't asked her for anything, I'd just gone and purchased samples, and she said how rare that was because she's flooded with emails constantly asking if they can have free bottles for review, and that it was a nice change that I had actually purchased a sample without asking for anything. And as a thank you for the lovely review, she wanted to send me something, one of her new creations, and the way it was worded was so lovely and so nice that I genuinely felt rude to say no, because in general I don't like accepting free bottles. It's very rare that I do. In this case, I thought it was a lovely message, and I was like, sure. And I had a look at the new stuff that I'd never smelled. I'd only bought a certain sample selection. Ritual was a brand new one at the time. I got this back in January, and the notes sounded really good. It was a mixture of fruits and honey and sandalwood. I thought it sounded great. So I was like, sure, we'll check out Ritual. It sounds cool. And she very kindly sent me a bottle. I didn't have to review it, it was more of a thank you for doing a nice review on Le Mat. But I think it's a really nice fragrance, so I am going to review it. Just want to make sure that everyone knows that this is sent for free. I did not pay for this one. However, if I didn't like something, I would tell you. It just so happens this is actually quite a good fragrance, and I can't really knock it in any way. I actually looked for things to knock, and I'm coming up empty. so I'll show you the presentation of the bottle and we'll get into a full review. Comes like this. It's meant to mirror a kind of the crates they use in museums and art pieces to move art pieces around, which is cool. Opens up like this at the front, so you have to be a little bit careful that the bottle doesn't drop out because there's nothing holding it in. But I like the kind of the throw into the area that perfume is art and it's displayed as an art piece. I like that. The bottle itself, very cool. It's got this very distinctive styling, this kind of wire cap, kind of a bit rustic, but cool packaging. The bottle's solid, good weighty glass, it's good quality, and the spray is not bad, it's quite good. So when you first spray this one, I'm blasted with a mix of slight fruitiness, slight muskiness, and kind of a beeswaxy amberiness, and a hint of a floral. It comes off a little bit perfumey on my skin, which leans on the feminine, in the opening at least. So the opening top note's a little bit feminine, a little bit generalized on my skin. I don't smell specific notes. I get a generally fruity kind of vibe with a little bit of a beeswaxy kind of soft, sweet warmth, a little bit of a floral tonality, and kind of a muskiness. This one, I let my sister smell, and she loves this one. She genuinely really enjoyed it. I gifted her the bottle, so this bottle is my sister's now. So you'll hear from my sister in this review since she's spent time with it. So you get to meet my sister Sophie. On her skin, interestingly, it smells different. I was quite surprised because I sat down with her, I went over and I filmed at her house, and we sat down and I asked her how it smelled, and she said it was really juicy and fruity, and I was like, really? Because I don't get that on my skin, and I smelled her hand and I was like, oh god, I can smell pomegranate and blackcurrant, and it smells really juicy on my sister's skin. The fruits really push off her skin really well. You get a pronounced pomegranate note, and a kind of a blackcurrant berry kind of vibe. Really cool, but that doesn't come off on my skin at all, really. I get a generalized soft fruitiness, but not nowhere near specific where I can identify what it is. On my sister's skin, clear as day, pomegranate, blackcurrant, berries, awesome, really smells good. So skin chemistry dependent, this one, it can smell different on different people. So I just want to point that out, that, you know, it's different for everybody apparently. As it dries down on my skin personally, I get more of this slight beeswaxy kind of vibe that's just a little bit sweet without being too sweet. A soft sandalwood, a slight muskiness, and a kind of a vibe of a cashmere scarf or kind of cotton wool. It smells soft, fabric-like, comfortable and cozy and warm. It feels like like a cuddle. If you could imagine the scent of a cuddle, it's like a cuddle. It's soft, it's warm, it's cashmere scarf, it's cotton wool clouds. That's kind of how it smells to me, painting a picture for you in your head as a soft, sweet, cloudy, comforting blanket of something. Very nice. As it dries down, you get a little bit more of the sandalwood coming through, and it kind of fades out at that. It doesn't really change too much on my skin. With, in terms of performance, around 8 hours longevity with a couple of hours of a nice sillage and projection. Sits closer to the skin for the end of the fragrance, but it lasts, you know, a whole day. So the performance is very good. But I would say opening a little bit feminine, dry down and mid, completely unisex. I don't think it matters, to be honest. In terms of season, I would say spring, autumn and winter. More daytime casual, although you could really, I think it's fairly versatile. You could wear it to work even, because it's not offensive at all. It's actually kind of mass appealing. I can't really see too many people disliking it. If you go to Fragrantica, it's all positive feedback. So I haven't heard any bad words about this one. It does genuinely smell mass appealing and likable. We'll fly over to my sister's house. You'll get to meet Sophie and she'll give you her take on it. Hey everyone, I popped round to my sister's house. This is my big sis, Sophie. With this perfume, I actually gifted this one to my sister quite a while ago. So we're going to take a smell together and I'm going to get my sister's opinion since she's worn this more than I have. How would you...
Yeah, I like the juiciness actually.
You think it's juicy?
Yeah, I get the red fruits.
I get more of the beeswax, like a...
Well, yeah, mostly for me, and this is why I love it. It's because it reminds me of being in Morocco.
Really?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's got that sandalwood and musky smell. Yeah, it's just so comforting, I think. But yeah, predominantly for me, it's the sandalwood and the musky smells. Okay.
So one thing that I got out of it, and you've not mentioned this, so maybe it's my imagination, but you said it was comforting. Do you get anything? Just smell your hand for a second while I tell you. Do you get anything at all that reminds you of cotton wool? Like a fluffy, cloudy cotton wool texture? Or is that just me? Smell it on my hand. It reminded me of like a pack of fresh cotton wool. Do you get that? Or?
It does smell different on you, isn't it? Because I suppose it mixes with your skin as well. Do
you get that from my hand? On my skin?
I don't get that.
You don't get it? Maybe it's just me. When I smelled it, I was imagining thick, soft cotton wool, like it has a soft kind of texture. Whereas on you, it's maybe a bit more fruity. Smell on your hand. It does smell really different on you. I get the pomegranate kind of juicy. You said it's more.
It's much more juicy.
That's funny how that works on skin chemistry.
Yeah.
I can smell yours is a lot more. I get pomegranate and the raspberry kind of. It's way more fruity. It's interesting how that's different. But you enjoy wearing it anyway.
It's one of my absolute favourites. I really do. And this is one I kind of want to wear all the time as well.
Comforting.
Yeah.
And you get more of the juicy fruits and the sandalwoody musk.
It's quite uplifting and nurturing at the same time.
I thought it was cosy.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for your opinion, Soph. We'll hop back to end my review. Leave some nice comments for my sister below. And we'll see you again soon. Bye everyone. Privately, she has told me that this is her favourite in her collection. She genuinely really enjoys this one. So that's cool. And she does have a few fragrances. She owns a Serjoff, Boadicea the Victorious, Zoologist. I gave her the Rainier one as well with the mango and the oud. She likes that one too. And she's got a handful of designers as well. She's always worn perfume, but this one, she genuinely really likes it. So I'm happy that, you know, she's going to make good use of this one. The only point I can think to mention that might be a negative to some people is it's not hugely complicated. It feels quite minimalist in the composition after the initial opening. The mid and the dry down, fairly simple. You're going to get a musky sandalwood, cotton woolly cashmere scarf, and that's it. There's no massive complexity to the fragrance. If you are a person that likes lots of layers and changes and complexity and depth, then you probably won't be attracted to this one. It's more minimal, it's just comforting and soft and friendly and nice. That's the only kind of, I guess, thing I can kind of critique it on, so to speak, that way. It's well priced as well. It's €200 for 100ml, 100ml. So you're buying more volume, but price per ml is very good. It's around £170 sterling for the 100ml. That puts it in the same ballpark as, say, 4160 Tuesdays, Sarah McCartney. It's indie level pricing, but I think done very fairly. I think genuinely they could charge a little more if they wanted to, and nobody would complain. So I think the pricing is on point. I actually had a look at the website again, and I'm struck that I'm quite impressed with the brand image. I think that the website is excellently done. And I'm not saying this to blow smoke up anyone's arse. I go to a lot of brand websites and I'm usually not that impressed. Mendittorosa do a fantastic job. They have great photography, product photography. They have a great layout. They have great styling and taste in their brand aesthetic. And details like that I like. I like that a brand has spent time to get the aesthetic right and the look, and it looks professional and it looks good and it looks tasteful. Not all brands do that. A lot are quite poor with that. Mendittorosa do a fantastic job. The pricing is good, the bottle's cool, everything is good. So yeah, that's it. If you've tried it, let me know, and I'll see you guys next time with another one. Take care. Bye.